And welcome back, Trailblazers Courtside on Comcast Sportsnet, Rip City Radio, and Trailblazers.com. Mike Barrett back with Mike Rice here inside our Moda Center studios. Joined now, I was going to introduce you as CSN and W's Chris Haynes.
Well, you can. Still, the 20th is.
You're leaving us. You're leaving us. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Very well deserved and excited for you in some ways. Other ways, though, I don't want to lose you, man. On the road, it was fun hanging out, and I got closer to you probably than any other beat writer I have. And as far as just road stuff, home stuff, and being able to bounce stuff off guys, it's been fun having you around.
We didn't hang out anyway. He hung out. Comcast guys go to bars. We always go to milkshakes and Starbucks.
Right? Oh, okay.
Anyway, that notwithstanding, congratulations on this deal. How long was this in the works?
This was probably in the works.
Because this is going to see how mad I'm going to get at you because I didn't know anything about this.
I would say mid-July.
Really?
Probably. Yeah, mid-July. It was in the works.
So anyway, you're going to be the beat writer for the Cavaliers for the Cleveland Plain Dealer.
Yeah, Cleveland Plain Dealer, Cleveland.com. And a lot of mixed emotions, man. Happy, excited, nervous, scared. Never been out, never lived outside the West Coast. Taking the family, across. It's going to be.
Now the main thing is, do you have a game plan to get close to who? You got to have, in order to be successful, you got to have like that with the big guy.
I'm just going to be myself. I'm just going to be myself and do what I've done here. And
oddly enough, we don't give that advice to Mike Rice. Go ahead.
That's true.
I'm already close to the big guy.
Right. You could never be anybody else. That's a good thing.
No, I'm just going to do, I think, what I've done here, speaks for itself. I'm just going to really take it to Cleveland and, try to do the same thing. And hopefully, I know for a fact it's going to be different there. That's a big market. And just being able to gain relationship with individuals right there, including the players, is going to be much tougher because, the mass media sessions and things like that, you don't really have much time to gain those, one-on-one personal relationships. So that's going to be different. But
it's a good time to be joining that team.
And I'll tell you right now, I've gotten a lot of texts and emails from people saying, hey, if LeBron wasn't there, you wouldn't be thinking about that. I'm like, heck no, I wouldn't be thinking about that.
Is that true, though?
Yeah, I mean,
because of the timing and what's happening.
That's the only thing. You got LeBron and Kevin Love going over there, and new polarizing head coach and David Blatt. Kyrie Irving is coming into his own. It seemed like everything was falling into the right place over there, and I looked at it, and there's no doubt about it. If this was last summer, I wouldn't make this move, but I just felt like this was an attractive opportunity that I couldn't pass up.
You brought up something that's really interesting because when I first got here, we played the Bulls in the playoffs.
In the finals.
In the finals. And I watched the media around MJ, not so much Pippen, but, you couldn't get near him as a writer. And I was just wondering if the same will be true with LeBron coming back for you to get, how long will it take?
Well, the thing about it, I have a pretty good relationship. I have a solid relationship with LeBron. I think it'll only grow from there. His people have a great relationship with his people already. Those things that I've developed.
In fact, the rumor was that they helped you get the job.
Oh, yeah. I saw an article about that.
Yeah.
I saw an article about that.
I said, wow, my man really is big time.
Yeah, that's not true at all, man. But, yeah, I saw an article about that. But, no, I've had a pretty good relationship with those guys. And it's only going to grow from, seeing them on a daily basis. So I'm excited. Hey, the hard thing about, man, this was where I built my career here in Portland. The Portland Trailblazers organization, this is the team I've covered. They've helped me as a reporter. I've gotten better from day one to now. And, we've had our tough times talking about me and the Blazers. We had our tough times. We had our good times together as covering the team, times that reporters have with the Blazers, with their team that they're covering. But I wouldn't take any of it back, man. I'm a better person, a better reporter because of the relationship I have with the Blazers and you guys.
This show helped kind of bring out the real you. As I remember, you were a little reluctant. Now, man,
is that right? Okay.
He's implying we made you.
Yeah, he did. No, actually, I think you said that one time. Yeah,
I did. That was a long time ago, though.
I think you said that not too long ago. Yeah.
No, it was a couple years ago.
but
the relationships, that's when people ask me, what's the best part of your job, what's the part you enjoy the most, it's relationships. And I would hope that would be the case of any job, really. But in this case, talk about, and you're still going to see these guys, and you're still going to cover these guys, but has that been really fun? The relationships, not the play, just the players, coaches, management, everybody. I mean, those are cool things. A big benefit of this job is those relationships and how you have to build them and then walk a fine line and how you treat them.
No, and that's all about, you don't want to burn bridges. And I've always just taught that just from growing up, because you never know what person or individual you may need later on in the future. But you talk about relationships, man. I'm with you guys. A lot of times, more times I'm with my family, so I get to see you guys, see the players, management, executives, see you guys on a daily basis. So you automatically develop those relationships, and you hope that, they're long-lasting relationships. And that's definitely what helps you in this business, because even though the NBA, it has a mass group involved, it's a small circle.
Yeah.
And so you pretty much know everybody just from going around these different cities.
And being on the road, traveling's different too, because some guys who are, like with CSN and W and the way that the media has changed, not all of those guys travel. Well, you have been the last few years, and that's different too, because some long trips out in the middle of nowhere, and you're by yourself, and all you have are the guys familiarity. And so, it is different in that way too, because you have been traveling. Your travel is going to be a little easier now, because nobody travels more than the Portland Trailblazers, more miles.
Yeah.
I think Cleveland's one of the teams that travels the fewest amount of miles just because of where they're located.
Yeah, and that's going to be. I'll enjoy that.
Yeah, right.
I'll enjoy that part. But
there'll be a lot of white stuff coming down in a lot of those travels.
Yeah.
It's called snow.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm not looking forward to.
Yeah.
I think we were there. I think it was January in Cleveland last year. In January.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah.
It was pretty bad then. I think that was one of the worst times they've had. And so, like I said, I have absolutely no experience, with snow aside from the little
now, you
flakes
do
that
have
we
a
got
coat,
here.
a winter coat. Right?
I don't think I got a coat that suits
Cleveland's
that.
cold.
Yeah.
Midwest is
You know
cold.
what? I haven't
It's
heard.
the lake.
There's been nobody has said anything good about Cleveland.
No,
the
I just said
city.
it's cold.
I haven't heard it.
Now, he's got a daughter there, and he coached at Youngstown and Pittsburgh.
Can you give me something positive?
He's been
about
all over
the
there.
city.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I coached in Pittsburgh and Youngstown, Ohio. All right. And I never would go to Cleveland to recruit. I
thought he was getting ready for something.
Yeah,
I recruited everywhere else. I never went to Cleveland.
That's what I'm talking about.
So,
well, hey. Well, now I know.
I know a lot of the Cleveland broadcasters, broadcasting crew. The guy that is the Cavalier mascot used to be here in Portland. They all say good things.
Yeah.
I don't think you have anything to worry about.
Okay. Well, it's too late now anyway.
Yeah, right. You going to hang loose for another segment?
I'm here. I'm
okay.
good.
All right. Chris Haynes, our guest here. Oh, look at that. Get used to that, Chris Haynes. A little snow. It's coming down already in Cleveland. But, hey, people always asked us about – they always say, hey, what cities you like? We don't ever get outside the – you walk around a little bit. Now, Mike does because he has family there. He, goes out and drives around. I don't know. I don't know one city from the next. I know what people say, but home is going to be home, and there's nothing that says you got to be there permanently if you don't like it. I know you will, though, and it's – again, I will say this. Cleveland fans are really good.
Yeah.
That is a fun place to watch a game, fun place to do a game. Game ops are good. Arena's good. Downtown's good. Jacobs Field's right next to the Q. So that part will be fun anyway. And if you're just joining us, Chris Haynes, who has covered the Trailblazers for CSN and W, is heading off to Cleveland to join the Cleveland Plain Dealer. So those things will be terrific, I would think.
Yeah, and I think the similarities between Portland and Cleveland is that it's that thirst for a championship. It's been so long for this team have seen just national success as far as winning the title, and that's one thing I'm looking forward to, because that's one thing I love covering this team is that the fans here are so passionate and so much intellectual. I wrote about it in my little farewell piece, and I meant every word. Is that the fact that when I first got on the beat, fans would tweet and email me questions that I had no answers to. But if they forced me to go outside of what I knew and try to get those answers, that made me a better reporter in return. I think things would be that way in Cleveland. I'm already gotten emails already asking certain questions here and now. I'm like, guys, I'm not even there yet. Let me.
Now, speaking of that, it's Cleveland Plain Dealer. Will you be more print, or here in Portland you're on the air a lot in front of the cameras? Which will it be?
It will be more print. It's definitely more print. But I'll still do some TV work down there, and And probably some other opportunities open up.
They do some online stuff.
Yeah, they do online.
So you'll do some blogs.
I do some online video
stuff.
blogs, but some TV deals are in the work as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, now that you had the experience of this show that has brought the best out of you,
Right.
you should carry it on.
Yeah.
We didn't do all this work.
No, there's no doubt about that.
In your resume tape, did you include any courtside in there?
Because I'm known in Ohio. I opened some doors.
No, I will say no. They definitely did watch some of the courtside tapes.
Yeah.
And they watched Haynes and James, of course. But I'll tell you one video that they did bring up. The video of me and Will Barton going back and forth, talking about playing one-on-one. And so, that's one thing. People call it, people knock it. But that's one thing. I do pride myself in the relationships that I have with players. And
Absolutely.
I still have to do my job. I think the players know that. But at the same time, they know I'm not just out there trying to chase any wild story and put them in any negative light. So I do like that about.
You probably haven't. I mean, maybe you have done this, but thinking back, and you'll be doing a lot more of this. You got any favorite memories you're going to carry of your time spent
other than
covering
being on this show?
Other than the courtside memories, which I know are going to be above and beyond anything we're going to be talking.
Wow, that's a good fondest memory. You know what?
Or the easiest Blazer to approach and get things from, or the toughest?
It's an entirely different question, but
that's a different point. Okay,
I'm trying to help him out.
I'll answer both.
He's getting there.
No, probably I miss in my 4 years covering the Beat, missed one game, and that was this past year because my uncle passed away in Fresno. But besides that, what almost stopped that streak, it was early on my first year when, for my dumb self, I thought I always had a card passport. And so it was the first year I'm in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was I believe it's you guys play Atlanta. I mean, it was Atlanta. Then you guys played Toronto 2 days later.
Oh yeah.
So I'm trying to get out of Atlanta, and I show them my passport card, thinking, "Hey, let me get my flight." Like, no, you need a passport booklet. I'm like, what is this? They said, well, this only allows – that's only a card. It only allows you to drive into Toronto. I'm like, what? So that's my first year on the Beat. I'm stressing. I'm thinking I'm going to let my company down. I'm like, man, what's – so, man, make a long story short.
Didn't you fly into Detroit or somewhere?
I flew into Buffalo, New York.
Got a car.
Rent a car. It was snowing like crazy.
Of course it was. Get used
to it. Then I drove. Thankfully, I made it. Made it. And then you guys played. It was a back-to-back.
Yeah.
So it was Toronto, Detroit. So then I had to drive back to Buffalo. Early the next morning, catch a flight from Buffalo, New York to like somewhere else before it finally got to Detroit. But then I made it like an hour before tip.
There are a lot of stories about passports, and back, and this is back before they changed security stuff to be what it is now. He was using a passport that had expired in like 1962. His picture on there, he looked like he was 17 years old, and he used this thing.
They got away.
Years. Got away with it.
It was a contest.
And the way we do it, because we're flying charter, we land in Toronto. And we go to a separate little place, and then you sit there, and then two guys will come on the plane, and they'll kind of look at your stuff. Then you get off and you go. It's really no big deal. Getting back in the U.S. now is much more difficult. But he used to just show it, and we'd even give a hard time. Look closer at that expiration date.
Hold on, this was pre 9/11?
No, this is post.
Oh, okay. But it was post, huh?
Yeah, it was post.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Not much post. But it was post.
What you have to do is you keep their attention. You say, "What's your favorite team?" And you're reaching for your passport.
I don't think I'll get away with that.
A few years ago, I think in his second to last year, Nate McMillan, we were on a road trip, and he forgot his passport, and they had to do something. Remember, because our flight was, and we didn't know why the flight was delayed. And finally, we heard it was Coach McMillan had forgotten his passport. They got him one and got it taken care of. But there's ways to do it. But
because you go into Toronto twice.
Yeah.
So
now you're going to go twice.
Yeah, now I'm going twice. And that's your second part, right? So the players, of course, Damian Lillard, Brandon Roy, those guys in particular. Will Barton, man, CJ, Earl Watson. Got close to Mo Williams got close to over the time. There's a lot of guys, man, but I think those guys right now, they stick out just from talk about Damian, just being you can say what you want to say, but I think just overall he's a superstar already. If you think about his accolades and just on every commercial, you see him on almost every it seems like every other time. And so the way he's still able to be so humble and so accessible, that's one thing I like about him. And I think, man, he's going to have a fine career, and he's really great for the city of Portland.
And, LeBron's personality is the same, but he is, so big that he can't always relate to people because, they're pushing him here and there and there.
Can't be as accessible.
But his personality is, I've been around LeBron, and I know he says hello. And at the first year I went to Cleveland, he signed all my grandkids' stuff, took pictures with them.
Yeah.
Not many superstars will do that.
No, that's one thing I'm looking forward to, seeing that other side of him. Because, that's one thing I like. Yeah, I can talk X's and O's, and I love doing that about basketball, but I also like shedding light on the player, the person, the individual, the husband, the father, And I think I can do some pretty cool, neat stuff with LeBron.
All right, Chris. We'll have you on from time to time on the program. Well, you can do it by phone, right?
It's not going to be the same. Man.
No, it won't. It won't. But November 3rd, you're going to be here in Portland.
Yeah, real quick.
When Cleveland is here early in the season.
Yeah.
Because usually we have Akron Beacon Journal guys. That's the real paper down in that area. So now I know you'll bring up the Cleveland Plain Dealer to another level.
Rich Patterson says you're already booked on that show that week.
Yeah, hey, the first day I announced it, he Facebooked me, said, hey, I got you booked for
That's how we do it.
I said, I got you, Rich. You my guy.
Well, and you owe this program so much.
Yes, I do.
I think that'd be much of a problem.
No, not a problem at all, man.
Hey, you know what?
Hey.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
No,
Seriously.
really.
I mean it.
It's been great.
Thank you, guys.
It's been great. This is well deserved.
Means
and I
a
know
lot.
you're gonna make it big back there. It's gonna be big for you.
Thank you. Means a lot.
Just get a coat.
A couple of them.
Get a coat.
And a hat and some gloves.
Hopefully I'm not outside much.
All right, Chris Haynes of CSNNW heading off to the Cleveland Plain Dealer. And